Trigger warning. The following content may discuss sensitive topics such as mental health, abuse, violence. Please proceed with caution and take care of yourself. If you feel uncomfortable, it's okay to step away.
Towards Jack or not, an apology should have came out of his mouth to Jack because he's portraying himself to be a nice person. So for me, regardless of the situation, whether we think he's genuine with the apology, it should be a situation where he's sitting with himself and going, it's the same as if you tell your kids off. If you tell your kids off and you feel really bad about it, you sort of want to apologise, do you not?
Yeah, but it's just like me for example, when I left her, I apologised to people for the shitty things I did and said, right? But I also made my actions go with my words.
100%. So it's not just a case of
You can't just apologise. Your actions have to follow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only way that he's going to be able to prove that is if he's in a room with Jack again and that situation is then happening again, or if it's a similar situation with someone else. That's the only way that he's going to be able to prove that. He does, in all fairness, should apologise for even platforming him in the first place, because he knows if you've been following him for 18 months on this app and screen recording or cam to him, whatever you've been doing, you should know how problematic Jack is on this app. So you should not even be in a position where, whether you want an apology to your girlfriend or not, that you are platforming him to have that apology. What you should be doing is getting that apology off the app or behind the scenes so that no one has to witness when you decide then to turn on him and he acts the way that he does.
And
It's
also,
no one understands it. It's like, are we all acting like kids now? We're grown ass adults.
well,
There's a way that you can do things.
We can't turn around and sit there though as well on the app and say you want to protect certain people's mental health and then make a mockery out of others' mental health at the same time, because surely if you're going to stand for mental health, you've got to apply it across the board.
Like I said, I don't like Jack. I don't like Jack. I've seen him do this. I didn't even see the stuff yesterday. Obviously, I heard about it from Mary, but I've seen him physically with my eyes do this on the app before. It's not his first rodeo. So no one's excusing the fact that he's the problematic person that he is, because he is. He's done it so many times. The problem is, as grown-ass adults, if we're in the same place, and like you said, Kales, if we're advocating for mental health and people's mental health on this app, then you shouldn't be seen goading someone to SH on the app.
Yeah.
Whether you think it's attention seeking, whether you think it's for clout, money, views.
It should go over people.
It's not a nice thing to do to someone, even if they are an arsehole. Do you know what I mean?
Hi, Kiki.
I don't.
Hey, everyone.
Are you okay, my love?
I'm okay. I'm going to be completely transparent. I haven't seen any of this. I kind of think I've got the gist, just because I feel like we've seen these situations 100 times before, and I'm hearing 3 names that seem to be in the loop quite a lot. I think if I've got a situation correct, I was going to say, like, people, like Chantal just said then, we could, like, people can't be talking on mental health or this, that and the other when they're encouraging people to do things by the sounds of it. But actually I can't even say that, because I can't, as we know, we can't tell anybody what they can and can't chat on, what they can and can't claim to be on here. But what we can do is we can see that they've shown us who they are and take them for that. So if I've got this correct and somebody was in a situation where their mental health wasn't great and people are goading them to do things that no human will goad somebody to do, then we have to look at those people and be like, if I'm walking across Chelsea Bridge and there's someone hanging over it, if I hate you, I'm not going to encourage you to jump.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter how much I dislike you. So I think it's not even about whether it's right or wrong anymore on here, because I think people are going to have their opinions and I'm not here to change anybody's opinion. I'm the first one to say there's consequences for actions, but there's limits for everything. And I just feel like we have to look at the people, their behaviour, and say, do we align with your behaviour or not? And if we don't align with your behaviour, then I don't want to be around you either. Just the same way I don't want to be around someone that is running around with carrots and remotes and all the rest of it. I certainly don't want to be around someone that is encouraging people to do things they don't need to be doing.
I hear it.
But this is the thing, like, if you're wanting to protect, and I'll say it again, if you comment about people talking, like, making a mockery out of your friend's mental health, or people that you associate with, right? But then you go and sit there and go the man, right? Regardless of what you think of that person, you go the man to try and, like, to do further stuff to themselves. Then your argument for your friend's mental health has been lost.
And don't get me wrong, I'm the first one to say we are responsible for our own mental health. If we are in positions where we feel triggered or we feel this, we have to take ourselves away. Like, we can't be putting anything on anybody, but we also know in the real world, we're not going to sit there and telling people to do something.
You can have someone, right, that isn't in a fit, like, clearly, right, whatever we think of that, of Jack and stuff like that, and his actions in the past and stuff like that, whatever we think about that, yesterday, clearly he's in some sort of heightened state, whether it was genuine or not, do you know what I mean? Like, because people have their own opinions on it. At the end of the day, them two adult men who weren't in a heightened state mentally should have known better and shouldn't have been doing that behaviour towards.
So this was all on someone's live, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mary, I think I want to make lots of comments, but can you just play the key bit, please?
Do we need to?
Yeah, because if people are, you know, the context matters hugely to this situation. It's not great to keep listening, but it's just the stage of, like, I think it really matters if you haven't heard it. If Kiki hasn't heard it, I think it matters massively. I just don't think our description will tell you how bad it was.
I mean, to be honest, on here you can imagine, this is why even when I came in big, I was like, do I even want to know? I'm guessing I'm going to be able to pick up a basic gist based on that.
The gist isn't going to give you I promise you. Me and Charlie have been messaging all day. It outraged. And I asked Mary to go live, and I haven't been able to come up because mental health being real, by the way, again. My antidepressants that I take are now making me tired because I take them at 6 or 7 o'clock. So I'm knackered. But I wanted to come up because Cecil's Martha made a comment about what I said before that she felt was important. But Mary, I just think if people aren't sure yet, I think you should play it, and then I'll make some comments if I can.
Yeah, give me 2 secs. I just need to find it again.
Do you know the image that comes to mind when I hear...
I'll play the second part, yeah, because I don't think we need the first part.
You don't need that, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. Get off my bag! I swear to God, guys, never get kittens.
So Kiki, and I think Devon said as well, the context is this Daz was doing an FYP playing Angie. Jack's in the comments having a go at Daz. That's the context.
Okay, thanks, Chantel. Right. So in the boxes just now is this Daz, Sobriety Jack, Chippy, and a HR11. Just trigger warning, anybody that needs to leave, please do leave. Do not hesitate.
What are you crying at, Mr. Madness? Camera evidence. What's he crying at, Daz?
Apparently I'm stalking Chippy.
But you are, Daz. That's got no issue with you.
Shut up, Jack.
Daz, why am I threatening you?
Shut up, Jack.
Threatening you? Because you're stalking me and perving on me.
No, it isn't. Where's the proof?
You're perving on me.
Where's your proof? What are you lying for?
I've got proof. I've got all proof.
Show us then. You're lying to us. Stop lying on a public platform. Sober up, mate.
Daz, meet me now. Meet me. Go on,
Hello.
meet me. Meet me.
Jack, you keep saying meet me. You never show up.
I will meet you now. Meet me now. Meet me now. Meet me now. Meet me now.
Does that come with a carrot or a remote?
Meet me now.
Chippy,
Meet me
you're
now.
funny.
Meet me now.
Remote control
Jack,
of carrot, Jack.
Jack.
Are you a bigger carrot or your remote pal?
Meet me now.
Which channel? You wouldn't pull up if your life depended. BBC One.
On my mum's life, I'll come right now.
He's got pull up his pants, this guy.
Come now.
Pull up your
Daz,
pants.
come now.
Jack.
Come now.
Who do you think you are?
from now. Who do you think you are? I'm David Beckham.
David Beckham from Timu. Be quiet.
Jack, hang on, guys. There's only one pervert here, Jack, and that's the one that sticks remote controls up his arse.
Yeah, that's you, Jack. Sobriety, Jack.
You doesn't eat alcohol.
What are you going to make her do? A Channel 4 fucking recipe? No, Jack, I was taking the piss out of you.
Why was you dreaming me? Why was you dreaming me? Why was you grooming me?
Was I grooming you?
You're from David Beckham of Timu, mate. Shut up. Get your
Grooming you?
God, stop grooming
You're
him.
offered to buy me
grooming.
You're offered to buy me alcohol.
Stop grooming me, Jack. I'm innocent.
Nobody's offering you fuck all. Take your paper and fuck off.
Yeah, should I find your address?
Yeah, come and find it, Jack.
Just for the carrots.
I'll give you a little clue, Jack. I'm not enabled for it.
Guys, you've egged me on for months.
Yeah, go on then, see you, bye. Leave Daz
You've
alone.
egged me on for months, bro. You've egged me on. You've wound me up for months.
Yeah, whatever.
Jack, I'll give you a clue. I'm not in Mablethorpe, so...
So that's not even the worst part. I'm just going to give everybody a break. If anybody does need to leave, just to let you know, they will be talking about, obviously, unaliving, goading somebody into harming themselves, all this sort of stuff.
Mary, didn't Daz turn around and say, though, that he knew exactly which Tesco that Jack went to and everything?
Oh, yeah, Daz is a total creep.
And
Like,
stuff,
he actually
so,
gives me the ultimate ick. I can't even explain it.
Like, I don't even know who the Daz guy is, anything, but he did say that to him, didn't he? I know which Tesco's you go to and stuff like that, so...
Yeah, no props, Jenny. And so if anybody does need to go, then please just go.
Look at him, mate. You're going in the wrong direction.
Leave me alone!
I'm not doing anything to you, Jack. You're the one
Yes, you are! You keep bullying me for months! They come doing me! Following me!
I haven't been following you. Actually, Jack, listen, right?
Yeah, no problems, Abby.
You leave me, please! You're wrecking my
I was parked up on Ingermills High Street there, stationary, and you walked up to me, so actually, technically, you followed me.
Jack,
They're all laughing, Kiki.
I have to kill myself! I will
oh, well, go do it then. See you, bye. No, it's not our fucking problem.
Hey, Jack.
Fuck off.
Jack.
It's your own problem. It's nobody else's.
Go and take a very long walk off that very short Skegness Pier, eh?
Oh, yeah. Turn his camera off. He's been a prick. Turn him off.
So the reason why I told him to turn his camera off is because Jack put his camera on and was proceeding to SH himself on live.
So just do it. Go and do it then. He then SHs, and it's always silly. Stupid boy. Get him off the camera, will you?
Yeah, didn't they say that he was shaving his arms or something?
Yeah.
So my couple of comments, Mary, were, look, whatever you say, you've got these opinions, Daz, or whatever. I don't even really care. I don't know who he is, whatever. But
He makes me ill.
the idea that someone is unstable, and that's not a dig at someone, or they're clearly in crisis, they're clearly having a meltdown, and then you're a grown adult, man or woman, it doesn't matter, you're an adult, and you go, do you know what, this is a good opportunity for me to join the box. Kiki's having a meltdown, genuinely can't really, they're really struggling. I might just get up and have a little dig, really. I'll feel a bit better about myself after that. That in itself, I go, what the fuck is that about? What is that about that you feel like that's the... Because if they were Cantuan, right, and I don't know, there's just a difference for me of, like, if they're Cantuan, I can still have a view that, oh, what are you saying there type thing. But you do it with the person directly. It's like, do you know what it reminds me of? And I know it's a very different scenario. Is, when was it Cambridge Uni where the very rich students were burning 20 quid notes in front of homeless people and then filming it and laughing? It's like, what do you gain from exposing someone else's misery when you've put yourself in that situation? Whereas my point about Daz is, Daz and Jack are then having this back and forth, right? So that's their battle. But you then just go, oh, opportunity for me to join the box and be seen to have a little go. So that's issue number one, right? Issue number two, which is what Cecil's Martha was saying before then, I was sharing earlier on, is I support organisations every day to engage with people who are talking about unaliving. And I'll share this figure all the time. The NHS say this. So if you go on NHS England, staying safe from suicide, I'm going to say the word, then if you search that, NHS England staying safe from suicide, they have released data this year that every day 17 people unalive, right? 17 people in the UK unalive. 5 of those 17, so less than half, were getting any professional mental health support. 4 out of those 5 people a day who were getting help were classified as low or no risk of going on to unalive. Every day. 17 are unalive, 5 were getting help, 4 were classed as low or no risk. Just do it then. Oh, he's just being silly. Is exactly the risk we see every day, is that people then go, oh, they're attention seeking. Oh, they're just... So then, for me, we remove this a little bit from Jack, because it's not about then just feeling sorry for Jack or whatever, but I've still got a point about we only seem to like mental health if it feels soft and cuddly, by the way. Society is very much, oh yeah, we understand mental health, but it's got to be nice and we've got to feel sorry for the person. But what I mean by that is, if you don't like them, or if it doesn't feel like we sort of get it, then it's bad.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Jake. Like, sorry to interrupt you.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, for me, it's like mental health matters until someone's mental health is not convenient for you, or
absolutely right. Yeah.
can become like the butt of a joke, or is like too much, or whatever. And like empathy is not transactional, and it shouldn't be dependent upon what someone's done in the past either, unless they've done a really serious thing. I know that Jack has done. I don't watch him, and that's the thing. Another thing that I don't get is people are going, he's done this and he's done that and he's done this. Well, you know all that because you must watch him. I don't watch him, so I only know what I've heard about him, and I don't particularly like him. But I have got empathy for somebody who I can see that's clearly in a mental health crisis. And when you come at this from like a trauma-informed perspective, which I get that not everybody has got the privilege of because they haven't got a mental health background in education or whatever, when you come at from a trauma-informed background, you can see that this is someone in a severe mental health crisis, and that even his outrageous behaviour and some of the awful things he's done are rooted in his mental health, being in the toilet, basically. His mum came on yesterday and said that Jack lost his own dad to addiction, that she lost her brother to addiction. This is something that runs in their family. That's obviously trauma that he's got as well. He's only 27 years old, and these two men in their 50s were mocking him. He feels like he's been stalked and goaded by Daz for 18 months. I would be inclined to agree, because he's done it before. He's got form. He's done it to Poker Biatch. So, you know, he thinks that he's entitled to invade someone's privacy and their space and come to them consistently, even though he's being begged not to do it. He thinks he's got that right to, what, because he's a TikTok creator. This is someone's real life, real mental health. This is not a game. This is not a soap opera. This is an actual human being who then did come back onto the camera and SH.
And then he was a silly boy.
He's been goaded to do so. And I think Chippy's apology was weak. I think he only apologised because he felt like he had to, and he felt like people were judging him. He didn't mean it. And Daz is just despicable, if you ask me.
And we talk about this point about empathy, Charlie. So, because it gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it? Well, I've got empathy, but I don't agree with. But empathy isn't about I then agree with or don't agree with. I always describe it, Charlie, and you might then describe it differently. But if someone's in a hole, right, you look down into that hole, you don't have empathy. That's not empathy. If you're looking into the hole that someone's in and you're sort of just going, well, look, they're in that hole, that's not empathy. Empathy would be, I want to get into the hole because I need to try and understand the perspective of what's got you in this hole.
Who hurt you? What made you feel like this?
And if there's a ladder, out to that hole.
It's not human nature to be bad or horrible. Like, it's not in our nature to do like the kind of behaviour that Jack has displayed in the past. It's not human nature.
And empathy doesn't mean you have to then feel
trauma.
sorry for, does it? It's just about
Yeah.
then having that understanding. So for me, I say, if there's a ladder that you can see when you look down in that hole, you can see this ladder, and you're going, why is this person then suddenly on live begging for takeaway? Or, you know, they clearly don't have a problem. Well, because you're looking down into a hole going, look at that ladder, stupid, you know, they could just get up that ladder and sort themselves out and whatever. Empathy is get into the hole and you'll see that the ladder you can see is nowhere near the ladder they can see.
Exactly.
So the ladder that feels like just fucking put your foot on it it's bigger than my height. So even
and like Cecil's Martha's just
right?
said, empathy now doesn't mean we support his previous actions. No, of course not. But unless, like I've said, unless someone has done, like committed a crime or done a really, really bad thing, like hurty words on the internet, to me, are not a really bad thing. Not enough to not warrant empathy when you are about to SH on live. That is not, you know, stuff that you've said in the past is not enough to warrant no empathy. But what they've done, they've actually physically goaded someone into SH. I think it's the worst thing I've ever seen on this app.
I think it's madness. Like I said, but like Charlie said, like the only time I'd probably not give a shit is if it was like a fucking peddler or someone that's done something serious. You know, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, Kale.
Like, that's the only time I wouldn't give a shit. But like, do you know what? Let him fucking do it. You know what I mean? But to literally sit there. And you could hear it, like, and I don't give a shit. Like I said, I don't watch him, don't like him, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I wouldn't sit there and physically goad him.
Okay, as people are saying, he doesn't have a mental health problem because he was on live today getting gifts, and I'm going, look, and I'm not here to diagnose. I don't know, but if you're telling me that someone can be in such crisis,
you've got some sort of issue. If you can go on a live, right,
and then do that on a camera
yourself. You've got some sort of issues there.
Can I just say as well, like, people seem to be so black and white on this app about mental health, and they go, well, I've got really bad mental health and I'd never act like that. Well, good for you. Well, everybody's mental, it's so multifaceted. There's so many factors and variables involved in how you've got to that point of a mental health crisis, or why you've got poor mental health in the first place. You can't say my experience should be exactly the same as yours. And when I had a mental health crisis, you should act exactly the same as I did. And if you don't, there's no excuse for it. That's not empathy.
That's the thing, though, as well, is like with SHing and that, from my understanding, from when I've had like friends do it, and I've got a family member doing it now, and so my understanding is that when they do that, they feel some sort of release. So once that's over, that the issue's kind of put to bed for the time being. Until
absolutely. But even that is
even it could well be the case with Jack, that he wants to be seen for how much pain he's in. And I think that why he came back, I think, from my perspective, and I'm trauma informed, so I think that what I could see was somebody coming back on screen to do what he did because he really wanted them to see how much.
Well, he was being denied, Charlie. He was being told he's stupid, silly, go and do it then. And he's gone, oh, you want me to do it? Look. And then I said, then they instantly shut him down and, oh, that was not our fault. We've got nothing to do with that and whatever. But also, Kyle's on your point. So my understanding is there are different sort of aspects involved. One is numb the pain that's inside. You know, it's the physical pain numbs the internal pain. It's to communicate, which is what Charlie said there, communicate feelings of distress. It's a way of signaling it. But also, people describe it as a self-punishment. And not really, I deserve this. This is so there's that. But I just want to go back to the bit earlier, which is we're saying about the 17,5 and 4 a day, is, and someone was putting this in the chat before, that someone had gone to their doctor and basically been told, look, you know, you look fine, and then they did go on to do it. And we hear this all the time, right? This isn't just there's a thing around denial, and then people sort of just going, well, look, people don't even believe me, don't want to support me, and then going on to do it. And I do believe, by the way, that with this challenge, they would not want that to be the case. But you have now gave me the perspective that if you were my friend and I was in crisis and wanted to unalive, you would not be a safe person to talk to. Right? And that's the risk, is when you then mock something like unaliving, whether it's because you liked the person or not, you've now gave me a perspective that if you were the person I would need to turn to, you are a friend of mine, neighbour, family member, I'm just being honest. You've signalled, because that's the whole point about stigma, taboo, is you've played into the fact that it's a topic that people mock, that people don't believe. We hear it all the time. There's big TikTokers on here who say the people who talk about it don't mean it. Well, the 17, 5 and 4 or 5 a day, we're going and talking about it. Right? So this is nonsense again.
I remember living, I lived in a hostel at one point when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I left home at 15 and stuff like that. Anyway, and I remember there was a girl in the hostel and she had aged in front of us in the living room. And we was trying to stop her, and it was the scariest thing I've actually...
It's horrible. It's horrible.
It was so scary, and like, the staff wasn't until later on, and do you know what I mean? And like, we didn't know what to do. And we ended up ringing like an ambulance for her. And they took her away. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, 'cause she needed like help and stuff. And people, and it annoys me when people want to say, "Oh, well, they don't really mean it because they're doing it essentially because they're doing it in front of people." Well, how about looking at it this way? It's an actual physical representation that they're crying out for help.
And this is Kale's why I'm saying Charlie and I have been so angry all day, because all you're hearing then is just like, yeah, well, I didn't mean it, and yeah, why would you feel sorry for him? And yet, look what he's done. Look at the carrot, and look at the remote, and look at this, and look at that, and look at that. And we're like, it's so much deeper than that. And that's why Charlie and I keep coming back to this point about we've just got to be real here. Mental health is like, it's such a sense of, because I think also someone then said, well, what about my mental health? You're all going for me today. There's also because look, maybe I've got a bad view here, but even now, Kiki could be going, and let's just look, I'm being flippant, but Kiki could be going, Jake, you're impacting my mental health because you're not letting me get a word in, and I feel like you're not respect. But let's just be honest. So everything can affect our well-being, right? The fact that I'm animated now could be affecting my well-being. The fact that someone's talking loud, people could be like, actually, I just don't really feel comfortable with that. We have to accept that life impacts our well-being, good and bad, throughout the day. There's a difference then when someone is in a crisis and you go them. Right? So I'm not just saying it's okay then to impact people's mental health, but what I'm saying is there's a bit of a reality that day-to-day life impacts our mental health and well-being. And yes, let's please not be harmful, but even if we're all good and nice and sweet, things still impact our mental health. But there's a difference then with seeing someone in crisis, going on and goading them. It is so predictable to bring someone like Jack into a box and know that if you fight and go and argue, that you're going to get a predictable outcome.
And that's it. Like, if you think he's so bad and unstable and all of that, why did you get him in the box in the first place? You'd obviously be seeing him on live somewhere else or whatever.
Then with intent, isn't it, Charlie, which is what shifts it for me. It's got intent to it.
And not only that, I think that the fact for me was him and Daz have got a thing going on already where Daz has been cam-toing him, and you could hear the absolute, like, he was like at the point of complete exhaustion with it, Jack. Because I think as well, the difference that people have got to remember here is this is not just someone cam-toing him on TikTok. This is someone that lives in his town cam-toing him on TikTok. I would feel completely freaked out by that, I have to say. That is a little bit of a step over the line.
Not just that,
the relentlessness of it has been too much for him, and knowing that he's got poor mental health. Well, I think that then Chippy jumped in and didn't even know what was going on. And as soon as he got a brief rundown of what was going on, he just went in on him.
Yeah,
he went in on him. He was goading him. He was laughing at him. He was mocking him. It was really, really cruel and horrible to hear. And I think that they both absolutely should be hanging their heads in shame. And can you imagine if something had happened to Jack?
And this is what I mean, but the thing is as well is what they're not what they're forgetting as well is they will have people from their communities, right, that would follow them into that live where Jack is anything, and normally they might avoid Jack because it's like I avoid Ems like the fucking plague because she sets certain things off in there that trigger me. So I try not to watch it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're following your creator that you follow, and then you follow him into that, and you see that happening, and then you've then been triggered by your creator.
But the big hypocrisy, Kales, is...
I think every creator on this app as well, good or bad, has got a right to, because most of the time, let's face it, it's only hurty words that people are offended by. People take things way too far and they take it off the app. But most of the time, it's not people that live in the same town as each other, for example. And I think every single person has got the right to feel safe where they live. And I think that Jack didn't. And actually, Daz described himself yesterday as a big 6'4" burly man, or whatever he said. You know, he said, I'm a big guy and I'm very distinctive looking. What's Jack? He's like a little broken boy. And that must have been quite frightening, I think.
The other thing I just wanted to mention, though, was and it just is, look, it's the complete hypocrisy of the app. We've talked about it for years. If we changed the personalities involved yesterday, and look, I'm just going to be honest, if that was Angie, delusive Angie, that joined that box and goaded someone, we'd be having very, very different conversations from people today. Right? I'm not here then defending Angie. It's not Angie's fault. I'm just saying, if then it's the bogey person or the person they don't like.
Well, can we just remember
the morals change swiftly?
Remember when G. Crew was having a hard time with his mental health, and Evil Queen told him to get a rope, and there was absolute outrage, quite rightly, because she shouldn't have said it to him, and his mental health was like in a bad way at the time. And so why is the same energy not being applied here? Because at the end of the day, you have to strip away anything that he's done in the past. All the what-about-isms, what about this he's done and what about that he's done, it convolutes the situation. Somebody told somebody to go ahead and do it. Two people actually told somebody to go ahead and do it and laughed at him. And that is that's the only part of the situation that we should all be looking at here.
Can I just say as well, I'm pretty sure both of them mentioned something about what about my mental health? I've got bad mental health. Well, that should make you even more empathetic to the situation.
Yeah, and I agree, well, that's kind of a cop-out, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, because they're not in crisis, right? It does my head. Yeah. Because as I was saying before, it does impact mental health, but actually, sorry, Kiki, but just like, it's a difference, isn't it, with then getting in and goading someone who's having a meltdown, who's in crisis, who's escalating, and saying, actually, it is bothering my mental health that everyone's talking about me today. Because look, if this was everyone talking about me now in different lives, I would be bothered. I would absolutely be bothered. I'm not taking it away from them. But there's a difference then with people getting in a box and going. None of us have said today, Chippy should do anything about his mental health. None of us have gone, he should go and do this, he should just do that. Or we've not gone that personal. Do you know what I mean? So that's the difference, isn't it? It's not just about, oh, what about my mental health? None of us have disrespected his mental health. But you did yesterday. Sorry, Kiki.
No, you're good. And I think that can, because there's always going to be rules in the real world, and there's always going to be slightly different gameplay on here, unfortunately, with the people we deal with. But this isn't just a matter, from what I'm hearing, of someone coming in and being like, I don't like you, or you did this to me. This is someone literally telling someone to unalive whilst laughing and goading and encouraging. So first of all, when you're saying things like, what about my mental health? I don't know, or we're not hearing anybody tell you to go and do the same thing.
Exactly.
And you can also still believe that Jack is playing up, or it's all a show. But as a human, do you want to risk that? As a human, are you going to take the risk with someone's life that they may or may not be? Because I know I certainly wouldn't. I'd rather play it safe and be like, you know what? It is what it is, and I'm going to believe everything they're telling me.
But this is why I say, Kiki, that it was voluntary, is that my issue with Chippy and then this HK or whatever was that it wasn't their battle.
Yeah.
So that's why I said before, as much as whatever's going on with Daz, and look, genuinely, whatever, it clearly sounds bad, but it was their battle.
And they were just like,
just joined Kiki,
weren't they? They were just wanting to be cool for the sake of
Jack was there on his own first, wasn't he? If I'm understanding correct, it was just Jack and Daz, and I don't know if there was a random other person on the left. But yeah, Chippy and this HK joined after.
So, I mean, let me just be completely honest on this one. I don't know who this HK or whoever it is. I've got no idea who that person is. Never heard of them. I don't think
he was just hyping it up. He was, hyping it up.
Yeah, as far as Daz goes, I stepped away. If he's the one I'm thinking he is, I stepped away from him like ages ago. I think I used to see him around Remy's box, but then I'd also hear him in other lives talking about the race card, and that just put me off him. So I never went near him again. And then as for Chippy is doing this thing at the moment, in my opinion, where he seems to have got very big for his boots. And we're seeing this continuous pattern of behavior from him, again, in my opinion, that he is going to attack anybody that goes against any of his friends. He's like a kid in a school, in a playground, that attacks if someone comes for one of his friends, and he don't care how hard he attacks. Or he's going to like jump on board with this whole gang mentality thing of someone's coming for you, and he gets hyped up and joins in. And this is what we're seeing here, where he just loses all his senses. And that's me giving him credit by even saying that, because what I should probably be saying is it's very intentional to make yourself look like something or align yourself with somebody. This behavior from a man of your age, and the laughing in that, like, boils my blood. Like, it gives me a visceral feeling hearing grown people, especially grown men, laughing.
That's how I felt, Kiki, like a visceral anger.
Yeah, I literally, that's why I went away for a couple of minutes and was like, let me go for my kid, because that feeling is just, like,
I just don't know how your instinct would be to go on there and just do it.
Yeah, and
That's
like
your
I don't get inboxes or anything anymore, and I don't get involved with drama at all. Like, I come in Mary's live, I follow what goes on, but I don't really get too deeply involved in stuff, because it all just got far too toxic anyway a long time ago. But this one thing, I have not stopped thinking about. I can't get that laugh out of my head at that mocking of someone and that goading of someone. It really made me feel sick. It made me so upset.
And do you know what it is? We've all got, forget us as adults. Sometimes we give like kids the benefit of doubt, and adults we don't even see as humans when it comes to mental health. But if that was your friend, that was your sister, that was your child in a playground or something like that, and there were two other people,
exactly,
not forget even the words, let's even take the words out, laughing and taunting the way they were after inviting somebody into this space. This is like inviting someone to your house, letting them in your house, whether you like them or not, and then letting two of your friends in to attack.
With an audience, because that's the thing, isn't it? Is to watch, that people watch you do it.
Listen, if somebody came for my family like that, or if that was one of my people, there would be, we're talking a different game then. Like,
but Tanya, the thing, Kiki, that I've been...
you don't even have to be my people. I can't listen to that behaviour. Whether I like you, dislike you, know you, don't know you.
Do you know what the thing is though, Kiki? These are strangers on the internet.
Yeah.
They've met and been friendly with, that people go so hard for and die hard for.
Yeah, Chippy, sorry to come back to Chippy, but it's only probably because I've seen his behaviour more than anything else. He does this continuously, where he all of a sudden notices some of his people, supporters, whatever you want to call them, may dislike his behaviour, and he comes in with these feeble, weak apologies, not even on his behalf, not because he means them, but because he needs to keep his money, he needs to keep his coins, he needs to keep his support that comes from Red and everybody else, and just don't apologise.
But sadly, I agree, Kiki.
Can we also talk about what Alex Brigham said today? Because he was saying, I said it wasn't right to platform him, and I said it wasn't right to have him in there and all of that. And then, just before he dropped from the box in Chelsea's live today, he said that Jack should go swimming with a concrete vest on. And that is absolutely fucking disgusting. Jack was in the comments too. And he had accepted Chippy's apology, and he seemed like, it seemed like he got some validation, and he seemed like he was asking for the box, and he was being told, no, it's not appropriate right now. And then for Alex to drop that and then get kicked out of the box or whatever happened was another disgusting comment towards someone that's clearly right in the middle of a mental health crisis.
This is the thing as well, though, Charlie. I wouldn't even give him the energy or the breath on here, because all he wants is attention. But
I think this is the problem, though, isn't it? Is that we've stooped to the level where attention is worth from any source you can get it. That's the thing. But Kiki, I was going to, with the point there about like the apology and stuff, is what I've struggled with observing with Chippy.
Defo Jordan.
And this isn't me like just having a go at Chippy or whatever. It's he's very quick to then call people haters. So, I'll now be a hater, but he'll then apologise, which is what he did today, for the thing that you've tried to then call him out for, but you're then still a hater. But surely, if you've got to the point that you feel you've got to apologise, you'd recognise that the people who've alerted you to that were then probably right. Do you know what I mean? So it just makes a flaw even more for me about an apology is if the people who made you see sense or pressured you were correct, but they're haters and horrible, then I just would go, so you're probably then only apologising just to save face, or you're not actually doing it because the people who were flagging it were correct. Do you know what I mean? And then the other bit of me is like, why are people then automatically haters? Because, you know, certainly if the people in this box now, Mary, Kyle's, Kiki and Charlie, were having this chat about me and I knew this was happening, I'd be gutted. I wouldn't be sitting there going, well, Mary's a fucking this and Kyle's is that, and I'd be gutted. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't then be I'm going to call them, it'd just be like, shit, you know, I might not then jump in the box while you're all kicking off, but it might be a sense of like, how do you recover this? How do you...
No, this is like across the app we see it. And I mean, even the past few weeks, we've spoken about this whole thing with other people I'm not going to bring up right now, where the moment anyone disagrees with a big creator, or the moment someone has something different to say, or they calls them out on bad behavior, you are instantly labelled a hater. You are instantly
attacking the platform, bringing the platform down.
You're jealous.
I was in Chippy's FYP yesterday morning, and it was funny. We were showing clips and everything that were just random. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, and I have been friends with Chippy and that, and he got upset with me over because I went against him over. I didn't like the way he spoke to Paige. Do you know what I mean? And I'll still always defend that, like over Paige, if I don't care.
And that's the thing, though, Kales. If he's getting upset with you over you calling out his wrong behaviour, let him. Like, he's showing you for who he is. When somebody shows you who they are,
like I said, like, obviously we had a talk and everything, and we spoke about it, and it was fine and everything, but like I heard Max's life and everything. I didn't really agree with everything being brought up in Max's life and everything, but the video, like what I heard, where he's laughing at Sobriety Jack over that, it was horrible.
Yeah,
it wasn't nice. Do you know what I mean? And obviously you've been talking about it and everything, so I'm going to talk about it here. Because I've only really been in Minns today. I mean, internet's not been fucking very great either. But it is sad to see, like, on the app and especially when you've got people close to home that are SHing and stuff like that, and you're seeing a guy that's clearly begging them to stop whatever they're doing at that time. And yeah, he's done fucking bad things, and if no one's disagreeing with that, but at this present time, he's begging you to stop what you're doing to him, and you're laughing in his face and goading him to hurt himself further. And no one can turn around and say that's okay.
Like, no, I know. And I totally get what you're saying. The thing is, like, in the comments and stuff, there's no need to bring, like, anybody's kids or that into it, or Chippy's kid or anything like that. It's got nothing to do with him. This was the actions of him and him alone. So I hate when people bring kids into it. Like, well, what would he do if it was his? What would he do? Who cares?
Well, I do agree with that, Mary, but I think, and I do agree, and it's really sensitive, and we instantly shut this stuff down, but I don't think people are then necessarily, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think people are bringing kids into it. I think what they're saying is, can you imagine in different shoes? Right?
Right.
So you know, that's the point, isn't it? It's not then outing or exposing but I do get the sensitivity.
No, but I think what you need to do is, you could say it in different shoes. So you could say it in the way of maybe a creator that Chippy likes. Would he like it if Angie and Kales, for instance, were in a box?
That's different, isn't it? It's very different context.
I always say, if I'm saying something like that, I am always going to say, and I probably just said it before, I will always say, what if that is your sister? What if that is your daughter, your husband? You're this. Put it in your family, including your kids.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who it is.
Yeah, because that's the thing, I agree. We're not talking about kids. It's just what I'm saying, and I never made the comment, by the way. I'm just saying that I think if someone's just trying to go, look, all we're trying to point out here is, this isn't about it's Jack, but what if Jack was then your kid and that's the situation? Like, I think that's fair.
You are fair, though, to be fair. Like, at the end of the day, whether you like him or not, and stuff like that.
His mum was getting shit yesterday, Kyle's, wasn't she? His mum was getting shit.
He is someone's child.
Right, I'm sorry, honestly, sorry to totally diverge us off to the subject. I'm sorry. She's actually here. She's my new hero. So Sobriety Jack's mum.
Yeah, so she was getting shit yesterday.
Sounds the exact same as her, as him.
Who?
As Jack.
Oh, it's Jack. Yeah, absolutely. She does.
It's like he's put a voice changer on.
Yeah, it's the same accent, isn't it? Yeah. But I just only mention it because I think this is why people are saying it, is actually, the reality is, his parent then was on the app, and she was getting shit, by the way. People were saying to her, why are you enabling them? Why are you allowing... Anyone who's worked with anyone with addiction knows you don't just, you take it off them? Well, that's why people then go online begging you to make it happen. Like this is why I'm hating this whole binary sort of everything's so clear. It's not.
If someone's got a really strong addiction to alcohol, you can't just remove that alcohol from them, because that could actually be worse for them.
Absolutely right, yeah, absolutely.
That could actually end their life by removing the alcohol from them.
But this is what I really, I said, I'm not trying to defend people talking about kids. It's just more I think sometimes we are just then so overprotective. But if they were then naming or what, I'm just saying, I think it's fair for someone to just go, look, can you not just see it from a different angle?
I think when people say, about other people having kids or whatever it was your kid, it's not necessarily to talk about their kids. It's to say that mental health does not discriminate. And at any point, any one of us could become as unwell as Jack. And you don't know how your beloved family members could behave in a mental health crisis. So just think before you fucking speak to people. It's simple, isn't it?
I'd be gutted, Charlie, if I really, look, I had a big unalive crisis last year, and that's why I'm on new medication and whatever, right? And if I then really spiraled on live, and people just thought it was acceptable for people to just mock me and make it worse, like, that's what with. And the reason I'm saying that's not it's people's fault. It's someone said this today: leave him on his own live and choose not to watch him. And I've said this to many about other creators.
Yeah, that's what we said as well.
Leave them in a corner where, look, I absolutely wish the best, by the way, but
if you choose to go live,
I'm not gonna. But if you invite them into your box and then you go, actually, this is a chance for me to have a go.
So this is the thing so this is what that dad said that was completely wrong. He invited Jack into that box. They were arguing in the comments. He invited Jack into that box. Fair enough. You want to go one-on-one, you argue with him in the box. Then what he proceeds to do is invite 3 other people into that box that he sees have been going at Jack in the comments. So then you've got requested or whatever. So then you've got 4-on-1 against one person in that box. Then he drops Jack, and then he brings him back up again to a 4-on-1 situation. And so what you should have done from the very, very beginning is just block him. Say, I'm not having this today, Jack. Block him out your live. Jack probably would have moved. Then if Jack proceeded to go live, rant and rave about you, then chose to do something on his own live, of his own accord, you've proceeded to ignore him, you've not engaged with him, he's chose to do that, then that's on Jack. But you've chose to engage with him. You've chose to mock and goad him, because this is the thing as well, you basically saying, oh, God, do it anyway, you're probably not going to do it, he does this all the time. That's you basically saying, I don't believe you're going to do something. So then I am, and he's done it.
And this is my point, Mary, about as much as then it is about Jack and whatever, I get it, but my frustration has also been, and look, I don't, TikTok's not really the greatest sort of moral place anyway, but what it's done is put mental health in a really bad place again. So it's like that sense of, and I reiterate it, and I know Charlie mentioned something earlier about it, of like, if it's not we can sort of feel sorry for them, or it's quite cuddly or lovely, or then fuck it. It doesn't really matter. They're crazy, they're odd, they're, bouncing off the walls or whatever, and then it's just completely written off. And that's what I really struggle with.
I think if it's not like
a nice thing to have,
it's not like the I'm depressed and if it's not like the I'm depressed and in bed with watching movies and I haven't had a shower for a few days, that kind of mental health, people are tolerant of it. But when it's extreme and when it's messy and when it's completely raw like that, your mental health matters until your mental health affects other people. Your mental health only matters until it starts to affect other people.
Charlie, I think Birdie Appleboots has summarised it for me. If it's anything more than a cup of tea fixes, then it's fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Really? Yeah, then it's too much. 100%.
Crisis team shit. Yeah, you know what I mean. But we're talking about from what I can see with my experience in mental health,
is
Thanks, Jordy babes.
that this is somebody
Thanks,
that's in a severe mental health crisis, has been for a long time. It doesn't have to be an acute thing either to be in a mental health crisis. It doesn't have to just happen for a few days or weeks. An acute mental health crisis can go on for years, which is the case here. And I think, like, you know, none of us are immune to it. It could happen to any of us at any point in time. None of us are even immune to things like addiction.
Charlie, I do crisis volunteer work, right? And recently, and obviously, trigger warning again for everyone, but I spoke to 11-year-old and a 15-year-old who've both repeatedly contacted the crisis service about unaliving. And it's not a pleasant, lovely, sweet conversation. It's sporadic, it's difficult, it's, you know, there's very little hope. And this is why I'm saying about this sense of, like, it's not all lovely and cuddly and just have a nice chat and, you know, we just snap them out of it. And mental health isn't just this nice little... And this is what I struggle with so much, is that people want it to just be this sense of, you know, we back mental health, but that's because you've just got to be nice to the people we like and that sort of it. And you can't do anything that I then don't like. But actually, we don't really get the... And this is why I say they always want logic. They want logic of, well...
showing them stuff on the app, and that you can't 100% protect your children from fucking social media unless you keep them in your home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Sadly not. And I say sadly not because it's so harmful. But you're also, actually, if you shield them too much from it, you're going to isolate people from the world now.
This is what I'm trying to say, though, Jake. When people say, well, kids shouldn't be on this app. Well, it's a 13+ app, and some kids could have older friends that will be showing them stuff on the app, even if they're not allowed.
The adults on this app shouldn't be on here. This is exactly what Kayle's just said. Like, you're actually a group of bullying adults on an app. Would you want your kids to act that way?
And do you know what, Mary? I've showed my stuff. My son's nearly 20, and I've showed him some of the stuff on here, and he thinks that drama talk people are completely ridiculous. Like, he finds it.
When you explain to someone who's not on it, it's
not. It's like, not for him. He's on TikTok, but he just, you know, watches the stuff that he's interested in. But he's just like, what is going on here? Like, people my mum's age are in boxes arguing with each other and stuff like that.
Offering fights and
like, you just get it. But can I just go back to something that you just said, Jake, as well, about, you know, saying people are saying, oh, when you've got this, you don't act like that. Like, when you're depressed, you don't do this or whatever. That applies to everyone, and it even applies to, and it annoys me when people say this about Toulouse Savangi, right? I'm not her biggest fan. I don't mind her, but I'm not her biggest fan. And she, when people say she's not agoraphobic, she goes to the shop, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
and unless you're a fucking doctor, don't comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's just
and
not how it works.
Even if you've got it, it doesn't mean you're going to have it the same, right? That's the thing with, like, ADHD.
It's varying degrees of it, exactly.
ADHD doesn't affect me that way. Well, it doesn't mean it doesn't affect them that way. That's the fucking, you know.
Yeah, it's so nuanced, and I think that's the thing that a lot of people seem to be lacking, like, the skill of looking at things in other than black and white.
Yeah, it's like there's varying degrees of alcoholics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's varying degrees of it. Like, people think, oh, it's if someone drinks every day. Well, no, a binge drink is classified as an alcoholic.
Exactly. You can have functioning alcoholics, you can have functioning drug addicts. I know somebody that used to work in a place that I worked that we didn't realise was actually doing H.
Yeah, there's people in the city, London, honestly.
Until we had to access his drawers and there was needles in there.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, I think, like, you can be classified as an alcoholic if you're having 2 bottles of wine a night after work.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's varying degrees of everything. And like I said, I wasn't perfect on this or anything. I've done some really fucking nasty shit, and I've said the worst at times. Do you know what I mean? But I've tried to change my behaviour, and I'm not the same person I was last year. Do you know what I mean? Because I reflected and I looked at how my behaviour could have affected other people.
I think that's all you can do, Kales. And I do think as well that, like, what people need to remember is that we all grow, we all change, we all evolve, and that everybody's past should be, you know, some people have done some really bad stuff, but bringing it up with the whataboutism all the time. What about when they've done this and this and this? What about everybody always says, well, Evil Queen does this and Evil Queen does that, when it's not even anything to do with her. And, like, people use this whataboutism far too much on here to justify their own behaviour.
Could you imagine if we went to access services in this country, where be it doctors, psychologists, whatever, And the first thing we had to do was go through all the things we did. And they were like, but what about when you did that? And what about when
yeah.
how there was a credit score that worked that way.
Absolutely, God.
Nobody would get anything. But Charlie, you were saying like about people just understanding that obviously there's different degrees of everything, and everybody, I will say, everybody thinks they're a doctor or a psychologist or a lawyer on here. But it's because we give people credit to think they're going to do that. It comes back to this thing of people sitting in rooms day and night, and that is where they get their information from, and that's where their values are kind of upheld and beliefs are upheld, because they're just in this cesspool of rooms where
I think people are living in a vacuum in drama talk quite a lot of the time.
The moment EQ did that video on Angie, bearing in mind I can't stand Angie, that was the last for me. She did that video and I was like, I do not want to know about drama talk. I'm not going near it. I'm not going in it. The only rooms I really come into now is like, if there's Mary or Chantel somewhere, you'll see me in there. I might drift into Courtney's very briefly if she's on, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, I go everywhere and make a comment in everyone's lives, and I'm not going to just block people because I don't like them necessarily, because I'm following, like, just like everyone else, I'm following the drama. But when it gets to be like really toxic like this, that it's just a big step over the line for me, to go from saying horrible words to someone. And put racism and stuff aside, that's never acceptable, obviously, and that's more than just hurty words. But when it is just like saying stuff to each other, that's one thing, and that's just drama. But this kind of thing, like goading and then laughing at somebody about SH, is way over the line for me.
And that people, as you say, because some people are saying in the comments, like, it shocked you who said stuff, is people can't really detach them from the sort of sense of, actually, just take a step back. This isn't about dragging someone, or it's just saying, like, like, you know, it was one of us in that situation or whatever. Do you just think that's a nice thing to do? And that's why I repeat that. I just remember the video years ago where those students were burning 20 quid notes in front of homeless people. But it was a circus thing, wasn't it? As in, it wasn't just, they were filming it to make people go, look, ha, 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 we can just burn money in front of people who need it. And that's what it sort of feels like, is you're using people then as a sort of a circus act of, look at that, you know, they're less than us, and then able to come in and be big by then making a show of that. And what I'm saying is, if that wasn't the intent, I completely get it. But don't then just fight, get defensive, and then go in lives like Corey's tonight and joke about it. Like, you either genuinely go, shit, a bit like Chaos, you know, sure you've done nothing like this on the app, but you're going, actually, I look back and I go, I want to be better, great. But that's the point, isn't it? We're not saying everyone's got to be like, no, it's just, if you're going to just sit there and then go, oh yeah, well, I'm sorry, but then actually, whatever room I go in, if they're laughing about it, I'll laugh about it in that room, and then I won't, it's odd.
It's
like what Birdie Appleboots has just said in the comments, punching down for clout.
Like
that happens all the time. And the thing is as well, I think people forget.
Humiliation ritual.
Yeah. And when people are using someone as a you know, to humiliate as like an example, or, you know, people constantly taking the mickey out of Luna and stuff like that, like relentlessly. She doesn't even get involved. She doesn't go in people's lives. She doesn't make comments, but she got relentlessly bullied for no reason. People mocked her looks and all of that, like, for no reason whatsoever. What's she actually done to you? Nothing. So, you know, there was no need for any of that shit. But I think that this, like, what people forget is people have reduced everybody on the app to only the app. So they don't see them as a whole human being outside of this. And that, you know, they're not just, and, you know, oh, people are pixels on a screen. They're not, though. They're fucking human beings. And whatever, like Jack, for example, has done on this app that has been outrageous does not warrant one human being saying to him, another human being, go on and do it.
And it is as simple as that, isn't it? It is as simple as that.
You can apologise.
It's like a humiliation ritual.
But your apologies have to come with actions.
The thing is,
actions will always speak louder than words.
But I feel like people apologise on here with no true intention. They either apologise because they got into a box and everyone's telling them they should apologise, or they apologise because they realise their own crowds and their own.
Yeah, risk your platform. Risk your platform.
Yeah, like I don't even want. I say this when we have these racist debates. I don't want apologies from people. Keep your damn apologies. If you think you've done something wrong, apologise to whoever you want, and then show me your behaviour's changed over a period of time. But I'm fed up of people coming with these stupid apologies that other people have forced them to give.
That's the thing. I am adamant that morals on this app shift and bend to does it help the platform or not. And the Luna stuff is an example of that. Like, I was in that Mute Pitters live, and that cook with John, whatever, who's ran weekly mocking lives, now that the app kicks off, goes word for word, oh, I've realised that it might now be upset.
But loads of people that jumped on
you've
that
only just
have
come to this
also
realisation.
mocked Luna.
I'd have had more respect if he'd have gone, I hate her and this is why I've been doing it. But it was like, oh, now everyone else has recognised that, oh, maybe actually the last year worth of weekly lives named something tuner or whatever, maybe that has actually been bad. And what I mean is, I then didn't even have an opinion of it. If they fell out, they fell out, whatever. But the fact that you then go, oh, the app now thinks it's bad. Oh, actually, I've now realised that it's bad. I'm just like, that just says it all, doesn't it? It says it all that now other people don't like me. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe I need to, yeah. Oh, shit.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to jump down. Thanks for having me up, Mary.
Yeah, I think you're losing us all because I'm knackered as well. Bye.
Sorry, no problem, my love.
See you in a bit.
Thanks for coming up, my love.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.